I don't have to have headphones in for that anymore.
Just in case.
This is Len syncing. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Siblis.
So you're going to use the second clap?
Well, I did one in front of our audio and then one in front of his
But
audio.
you can't sync those two up now because they're both time, right?
Don't worry about it.
Okay, I trust you.
We'll do it live.
It'll be.
Fuck it, we're doing
It'll
it
be
live.
just fine.
I don't know why I doubt you.
So you're doing a cold open or? Hi, my name's Lance. I'm on the Dudes Watch a Movie podcast. How you guys doing?
It's great to be here, Lance.
Yeah,
First time.
welcome to my podcast. I just took over.
Long time viewer, first time participator.
I guess I am a long-time viewer.
I guess you're probably there for.
I think it was like
Did you start on?
it was Fifth Element.
Because I think that's the one we did the actual setup for.
Yeah.
It's not that bad.
I like that movie.
You are outnumbered now.
Oh, no.
By
I'm
the
used
way,
to it.
we're skipping our intro, but we're not. Hey, I am Notorious. No,
No.
he's Notorious
Yeah, it's
G.I.N.G. and I am Dead Sprocket.
Introduce another
and-
person and his brain's just like, I don't know what to do.
I know. But then yes, we have
Throw it in.
our good friend Lance here. Do you have any social cards?
I am the Legend of Lance on Facebook, Twitter, MySpace, Grindr, ChristiansOnly.net, FarmersOnly.net,
FarmerChristiansOnly.net.
FarmerChristiansOnly.net. It doesn't say
It's a very specific
white
market.
people only, but
That's kind of the vibe they're giving, which is a bummer.
who's gonna call me out for stealing that Family Guy reference?
We'll find out.
Probably no one. You're our viewer.
Yeah.
Our viewer is on the podcast.
Comment down below, future Lance. You fucking schmuck.
All right. So
Conrad's
anyway,
just.
So we have watched I guess we'll call it our third film for the month of
What's the Halloween
October.
special?
I suppose, yes. Very Halloween special.
Two of us, one of us is in a real costume.
Not sure what Tom's wearing, though.
It's a Jedi
Yeah.
robe.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just don't have the lightsaber because it'll probably screw with the lighting.
Mm.
Anyway, we watched Evil Dead 2, which I've never seen. I mean, I've seen snippets of it, whatnot. It came out in 1987, directed by Sam Raimi, and I will throw out a short synopsis. A lone survivor of an onslaught of flesh-possessing spirits holes up in a cabin with a group of strangers while the demons continue their attack. Plain and simple.
You could just say it's the same movie twice.
Correct.
If I had
It's-
seen the first one, I would say that. But
Well,
I
you
have not.
did. You saw it in the first 7 minutes.
Oh, that's
The
true.
first
movie.
Yeah.
They did recap the entire movie. I was lost
do
there
we-
because I was asking it. Did they just decide to hang out in the same cabin again? Idiots. Idiots.
Do you want to save the fun facts, or do you want to sprinkle them out?
Would you sprinkle them in whenever you get them? Lance here is the resident expert.
Expert.
Well, yeah.
I'm somewhat of a
If you know
scientist.
more than the other people in the room, you're officially the expert.
Excuse me.
I'm the everyman.
Actually,
Trust me, I worked at
Um,
Best Buy. I was technically an expert.
well, we were sandwich artists.
That's true. At
so
one point, working at Subway, we were sandwich artistes.
those were
Artistes.
the days.
Using artesian bread.
Best.
Fantastic. Hit us with one of those fancy
Fun
little
fact:
quotes.
the reason why, if you know the movie, you probably know this. The reason why the first 10 minutes is a rehash, remake, edit, is because they did not have the rights to their own movie,
Wow.
which happens,
What?
which happens in
Well,
when you produce it,
yep.
when you sell it out to get it out of there. They just didn't have the rights to it.
they
which
didn't
is
expect to make a
weird.
sequel, did they? Because
Which
the
is
sequel was,
weird.
what, 6 years after it?
Okay,
It's like 81 to 87 or something.
Amazon says Evil Dead came out in 1979. Wikipedia says 81.
Well, I think we all know
I just
who
read
the
another
trustworthy one
article.
with citations is.
Yeah. I read another article that says 79 to 83 was the filming. I don't know.
I'm going to trust
But-
Wikipedia on that one. They've never failed me on a test before.
It's weird that they don't have the rights to the footage, but they still can call it Evil Dead.
Yeah, they've still got the naming rights, and they've got the rights to the story to a
Yeah.
degree because they repeat the entire story.
I mean, it's...
They must have
okay.
just specifically
Laws are
sold the
weird.
footage rights for it.
I do, because you've seen the movie,
Hmm?
correct? You're a fan of the series. You are not.
I mean, I would say I'm not a fan, but I just
You
haven't
haven't
seen it. Yeah.
You know,
I am the uneducated everyman.
You're not a real fan.
In the first movie, there are 5 friends from Michigan State
We did watch
that go down to Tennessee.
a small crash course on what it is. So I gathered it, but it's just
I was gonna make a reference to the musical, but you interrupted me.
like I do.
It would have sailed right over our heads anyways.
It's true.
We'd just be like, okay, yeah, cool.
Anyway, 5 friends. Everyone dies except for Ash. In the rehash, it's just him and Linda. So it's like,
Yeah, they didn't mention anyone else there.
Are they still there?
Yeah.
That's
Jumping
true.
ahead, the TV series, which I believe is in canon,
This is true.
it references them. Like those events happened, and that plays into the show. You've seen it, so you know this.
Yep.
So it's kind of weird. The first time I ever saw it, I watched them in sequence.
The show or the movies?
The movies.
Okay.
Watched them in sequence. Finished the first one. Took a break. Came back. And I'm like, what the fuck?
This is
the
not
right
what
movie?
happened. Yeah.
I might have been pirating it. So I'm like, did I get the right movie? Is this right? And correct me if I'm wrong. Is there a different edit where the intro is longer?
Probably, because this is one that has a director's cut, which I bet would have a longer intro.
I wonder if that's what I watched, because I remember it being way longer. Like 2 hours in the movie, I'm like, why is it still going?
Yeah.
Why are we still here? Why are we doing the same thing again?
I feel like I just watched this movie.
Yeah.
Do I have amnesia?
The number 23. Sorry, where were we?
I got a quick fact,
Yeah.
a fun fact even. Although I would assume that anyone that's aware of Sam Raimi knows this, but like one of the first things you see is Peter Parker's car. Because he puts that damn Oldsmobile in every movie he makes.
Oh.
Every movie.
That's the one he buys.
That's Peter's car? I thought
It's
that
Uncle-
was
it's Uncle Ben's car,
Okay,
technically,
okay,
but
that
yeah.
It's
makes
literally in every movie he
Yeah.
makes.
Every
Peter
single
Parker.
one.
Supposedly, according to Bruce Campbell, that the vehicle in Evil Dead is the same car, is the actual car in all the movies, the remake, and the TV show.
Yep. It's just like he hasn't been getting new
That's
ones.
impressive.
It's the same one, yeah.
I mean,
Which
he only owns like 4 or 5 of them.
You gotta think that it's kind of clever though, because I almost guarantee that since that car appears in the movie, the production has to pay for the servicing of that car to keep it up and running.
Oh, probably. Tax write-off.
Yeah. Smart man.
Confirmed that Spider-Man and the Evil Dead happen in the same universe. Confirmed.
From what? Oh,
Just
because
from
of
the car.
From the car.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Yeah.
I mean, Ash must have sold it,
to Uncle Ben.
and then after Uncle Ben, spoilers, dies,
Wait.
he bought it back.
No way.
No.
Yeah. Spoilers. Sorry, guys.
Little does Uncle Ben know all the horrors that happened in his vehicle.
All
There were some
those
beautiful moments in
sexy-
that, I bet.
I guess you could say so. The writers were Scott Raimi and Scott Spiegel, which I didn't look anything into that one, but Spiegel. I'm saying it wrong.
I was more taken aback by the Scott Raimi part.
Oh wow.
I
Sam
just
Raimi.
caught that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, this is what you get. Anyway, usually we go through the cast on here too. So we have obviously Bruce Campbell, who sticks as Ash through all the movies, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
All 3.
Except for the remake. The remake is.
That's true. I forget about that.
Yeah.
Isn't he in like the post-credit scene or something?
No, I don't have no idea.
I think he says.
I don't know if I've
groovy,
ever sat
and
through
that's
there.
it.
Of course. Then we have Sarah Berry, known as Annie. Dan Hicks is Jake. Cassie. William. Oh my God, these names are weird. And they're regular. Cassie Wesley.
Whoa,
Pava.
regular.
Like it's whatever. As Bobby Joe, which is the best name you can give a hillbilly lady.
She's got 2 first names, and they're both dudes.
I don't know if this is Ted Raimi, but Raimi is the possessed Henrietta. A man was playing as possessed. That's the one that was in the basement, wasn't it?
It's his brother. Yes. Fun. I'll save that one for later.
Go ahead.
The suit that Ted wore was so incredibly uncomfortable and hot that he was just swimming in sweat.
Yeah.
There's a
Gross.
scene where Henrietta turns to scream, and you just see sweat pouring
Oh,
out.
it's like a scene from Rocky. Just
Disgusting.
It works, and it's amazing.
I wish I would. What is a fake Shemp? Because there's 4 people listed in here as fake
Shemps
Shemp.
are like the demon bodies. When they didn't have the person who's supposed to be there, they would just dress them up,
Oh,
blood,
okay.
wigs, and then beat them around.
Fake Shempis, Sid Abrams, Soul Abrams. I don't even know. Never heard of it before.
I feel like you've probably hit the important cast members at this
Yes,
point.
at
There's
that
about
point.
4 of them.
Question: other than Bobby Joe, does anyone say someone's blah 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 blah?
Like, say their name?
Yeah,
The character's name?
like, hi, I'm
I
Ed.
say, I don't
Hi,
ever remember
I'm
hearing
Jake.
Ash.
I don't think so, because other than Linda, but I mean that's a previous movie.
Yeah.
Like, I've got people in here that I reference in my notes that I just don't have a name for them. Like the guy at the airport with the gray hair, the one that comes with the daughter of the family. Even like her parents, I don't know the names.
Ed.
Sure, the one with the blonde mullet.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
God.
And it's like
It was so
still
bad.
the puffiness up here, but like straight back. Oh, whew.
He had some.
It was a work
extra
of art.
Pomade in that one.
It was the 80s.
They will be making granite statues of just his hair. Yes.
Well, first off, I would like to talk about the sound quality of this film.
And how good it was.
It was not good at all. So there's a lot of scenes in this film where essentially Ash is getting attacked, and then the whole time I can't tell, is it supposed to be playing his inner monologue? Because his mouth's not moving,
Oh.
but there's words and stuff going on.
Yeah.
So there's that.
in the kitchen when
And, like-
he's fighting his hand, right?
Yeah, because he's moving around, you hear grunting and like, oh, I gotta do this, but his mouth is still not moving. So I'm wondering if that was like, is that supposed to be an inner dialogue or an inner monologue, or is that supposed to be just really poor sound editing?
I
Do you
think
have
that
any-
was just we didn't put any sound in here,
Yeah.
so
Let's
make
fill
some
it.
noises.
Let's fill it.
I'm agreeing
Okay.
with him because this whole movie, I felt like this was just people being like, "Hey, let's just go make a movie." What do you mean budget? It'll be fun. Let's go. And then they just ran in the woods and made a movie in like 3 days.
I have a fact maybe about that.
Go for it. I
Did they know what a
it's
budget
on
was?
topic.
We'll go back to the budget later.
Okay.
But to the whole ADR stuff, I'm sure you caught the work shed scene or the line, just for no reason. Work shed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Chainsaw.
That was because they didn't write how he thought of the work shed. So they just said, "Hey, let's add the line that says work shed." Second fun fact: Kurt Russell,
Things not to do in a movie.
the man Kurt Russell,
Kurt fucking Russell.
loved that line.
I need you to say Kurt fucking Russell. That's
Kurt
a rule on this
fucking Russell.
podcast.
Kurt fucking Russell loved that line so much that when Bruce Campbell was doing a cameo in Escape from L.A., the very first thing he said to him was, "Say work shed." And that was it. That was their meeting.
That's all I wanted to say. My goal has been met. God. Low expectations.
And people think groovy is the big quote, you know?
Work shed.
After this, it's going to be work shed.
Oh man, I love Evil Dead 2.
Not
Dead
only
by
that,
Dawn.
so not just the ADR that bugs me. I'm not trying to tear apart this movie, but I just had a hard time enjoying it for like production value wise. The parts where they're running, the cameraman, who I'm assuming is doing stalker shots of running into the house and running away from the house and running back into the house. It was.
Oh, you mean the Force?
Yes.
They call it the
Is that what
Force.
they call it? I was wondering.
Officially the Dark Force, but the Force.
Does
for
it have a
short.
face? Does it have a look about it? Because it's just people, they notice it and they're just running away from what
That's-
we don't ever.
Is it just like a feeling of something there?
There might be something kind of like a bad CGI monster you would see in today's movies.
But I mean, they never ever show it throughout any of the series, do they?
Not even in the.
They-
Well, it shows it when they're in like Deadeye form,
spoilers. At the end of the movie, they give it physical form.
but- Was that what it was supposed to be? The face?
Maybe.
Because I
Spoilers.
like the idea that they just feel like a terror coming, and they're like, "Oh fuck!" and they just start running, like
running away.
it's hitting their brain.
This series is not very well developed.
It doesn't mean we can't fill in those blanks ourselves,
Right?
That's what fans are for.
What is our theme?
right?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So clearly, Spider-Man exists, and this is just Mephisto making a deal to rewrite the marriage.
It could be Blackheart too. You never know.
Yeah. I guess he does exist. Thanks.
They all
Ghost
exist
Rider.
now. What if it's just Mysterio?
What if it's?
Can we just talk about Spider-Man for the next hour?
No.
I'm here for it.
Fun fact: when Spider-Man came out, that's when I learned Sam Raimi did Evil Dead. I'm like, oh, I like Evil Dead. okay, cool. Spider-Man 1 was good. Spider-Man 2 was good. Spider-Man 3 was such shit, I hated the other two.
Nah,
And I had
it's
to
okay.
question
It's
if
pretty
I
good.
loved Evil Dead or not.
You're stomping on the Holy Trilogy around here.
Spoilers.
The
Don't
the
play.
original trilogy.
I need to stop saying spoilers. Yeah.
They, although I was thinking about it though, with the Sam Raimi like cross there, Bruce Campbell has had the most appearances on this show.
Really?
He's got 1,
I
2,
guess Spider-Man.
3 for Spider-Man, and now this. I don't think there's been any other person that we had 4
first 2
times.
episodes.
3?
Yeah, we did watch.
There's 3 There are 3 Spider-Mans.
You know, you could
I
do.
didn't know we did the third one on audio only.
I think so. I thought we completed the trilogy.
Uh,
That's like
That was a long time
it's a
ago.
whole nother lifetime.
You could just, reshoot it and then edit it together into a thing.
We could put on the audio, lip sync the whole thing.
There's gonna be a lot of quiet moments unless we just cut those out. It was.
We're on to something.
We had a good idea at the time. It was supposed to be like that Mystery Science Theater thing where you watch along.
Yep.
Well, we play the stuff in the background.
This is way better though. We got lights. We got lights now.
We got lots of lights.
Speaking of lights, this
Glorious.
movie did not have a lot,
No.
which goes back to the budget deal being super low. Lights can not the most expensive thing on set, but they'll add up. The nice thing though is it works in this movie's favor because of like how low key that lighting is. It doesn't feel like it makes it more gritty almost, even though it's super silly. Like it still has a true horror like aspect to it that we talked about previously that I just don't think exists anymore because everything is like desaturated, but you can see everything in the dark room versus this. And I think we might have talked about it on As Above So Below when they only have when they have low key lighting or 1 key lighting, all those shadows make it way more anxiety ridden.
So the budget of this film was $3,600,000 estimated. I bet you a lot of that went into makeup.
Probably,
makeup
yeah.
and blood.
Yep.
The use of that, and
Think of the cleanup too,
and the-
like if they have to redo a take.
the continuity errors and all
Yeah.
of that too. Oh my God, there were so many to begin with. But yeah, no, the blood on the face changes several different times, which bothers the fuck out of me. But he gives him a unibrow. I don't know if you guys see that or not, but all I see is Bruce Campbell's unibrow, blood unibrow. And then blood splattering all over the walls just happens to disappear, and then the big giant holes in the wall suddenly are not bloody, and then they are bloody. It's bothersome.
See, I didn't really notice.
Yeah, there's so
any
much
of
going
those.
on that
I was.
I think it's
nitpicking
because
it.
I
Yeah.
enjoyed.
I shouldn't have nitpicked it for as
Yeah.
old as it was.
Well, I was taking notes and I got like 10 minutes in and said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna enjoy the movie."
Right.
I kind of like it,
should've-
happens a lot.
despite how
maybe a
shitty it
second
is.
viewing is definitely due.
Yeah. If you give me more time, I would have watched them again. But
It was kind of a crash course. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't blame you.
Real quick notice.
What?
This is real
oh,
quick,
oh,
quick
well,
notice.
Quick notice. I thought
Yeah.
you were saying,
You had something to
quick
say.
notice.
Oh no, yeah.
Do we
No.
have ads? We don't have ads.
This episode,
Brought
of
to you
Dudes Watch a
by-
Movie. What do you guys want to do? Squarespace? You want to do
Uh,
Lisa? You
not
guys,
Blue Apron.
you guys want to?
Purple
Not by
mattress.
fast food.
Spider-Man. Brought to you by Spider-Man.
There you go. All sorts of things.
I don't think it was a good
Local
Mr.
menace.
Bird.
Spider-Man.
Give me pictures of Spider-Man.
He's a menace.
I'm assuming a lot of that budget also probably went into the. Well, I guess I don't know if it would have been a Steadicam.
It wasn't steady at all.
Yeah, now that I think about it, it would traditionally be the Steadicam where it runs in, but they just sped it up, and somehow it was still decently smooth though. Like when they get in the woods, it starts going.
Yeah.
But like when they were in the house following them, it wasn't too bad, honestly.
I think you save a lot on the budget too by having everything in one location. Just
Oh,
the
yeah.
woods around the house and the house.
Yep.
They don't really go anywhere.
That's why, I mean, $3 million obviously is a lot in terms of like normal money.
But movie people money.
Right, not terrible amount. They know how to stretch it. That's why a lot of like horror movies are really big returns because it doesn't take a lot to produce that movie. You just usually pick a setting, like 2 lights, and you're good.
That's part of the reason why when they made the first Evil Dead, it was like, okay, horror movies they're cheap to make, they get a big return, we'll do it. But
Took them a couple years.
yeah,
A few. Well,
yeah,
I feel like the rights issue may have been a thing for them too to get started into another film.
it's still confusing.
I wonder if they just sold them like if it was a weird deal with like a Time Warner or some company like that to get it on TV, and they're like, yeah, we'll do it on TV, but we want to own the rights to the film, like the physical film itself. So then they can't replay anything that's shown, but they can keep the name, they can redo the story and things like that.
Well, this is on, I want to say Wikipedia or IMDb. It's listed as a parody comedy.
Which is true,
Yeah,
because the
so
first one they
or-
tried to be
or-
serious.
Yeah,
and
they
this
played
one-
it straight,
Yeah,
and now they're parodying themselves.
that
I
is
guess
a really
worse.
tricky way if that's how they got around it, though.
Yeah,
That's pretty smart.
they can't sue us.
We make it a completely different movie. Wow, it blows my mind.
You got any other
It's a
nitpicks over there? Nitpick McGee?
Kinda, but I don't want to just make it all about that. It's just mostly a lot of continuity issues that bother me. I don't know. It's just the attention to details that I look at. Learning about film ruined me watching film.
Oh, you
I
can
can't
turn it
watch
off.
normally.
Just turn it off.
I can't. I don't know how.
Think about all the good things, like how good that camera guy was. He didn't trip one time that we saw.
I want to see him leave that.
I'd
in.
love to see that tape. All right, let's reshoot.
This is troublesome. There's a lot of good, inside facts about the first movie because it was a shoestring budget of like 90,000, shot over 3 years.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good stuff there, but I couldn't find anything about this one because they had such a huge budget. All I could find was they wanted to do what eventually became Army of Darkness in the second movie, which would have been called The Mid-Evil Dead,
Clever.
which I kind of like.
I'm with it.
But he fell short of his, I think like 4 million, whatever number you said, fell short of that.
Oh, okay.
Dang.
But then they went ahead and redid it anyway for the third one.
Third one's not. I don't know. It's not.
Is that my phone?
It might be my phone, honestly.
I hear it and it's annoying me. Turn off your damn phone.
Not me. I will turn
It was probably mine. I keep getting notifications that my team has started a raid.
Cool.
For what?
A game I don't play anymore.
Marvel Strike Force?
Yeah.
You were playing that hard for a
Yeah.
while.
I fucking crushed it, and then I was done.
I beat it.
Fuck yeah. So Bruce really likes to raise his eyebrow in this movie a lot.
Oh my god. Super expressive.
I think I know where The Rock got it from. He's a big Evil Dead 2 fan.
Yeah.
90% of the shots are him, like, right up in your face going, I don't know.
There's a lot of Dutch angles in this film too. I also
There were,
noticed.
yeah.
A lot. Almost uncomfortable.
I think that might be the first movie. Once the evil shows up, everything is at a Dutch
Starts tilting.
angle
Yep.
to make you uneasy.
Yep.
That might be the first one.
I think
I'm
it
not
is.
sure.
This one has a lot of them, too, and that's just kind of a Sam Raimi thing. He likes to play with the camera a lot. Especially now that I think back to Spider-Man 2, the best one. Doc Ock's his tentacles after the failure at the experiment.
Blood.
Like you see those same angles, like it's from the point of view of the
The tentacle.
tentacle, but it's the same way as like the what do you call it,
creepy
the dark
stalker
force
shots.
or yeah. And then like when the girl screams, it's like she turns into it and the camera comes at her sideways and stuff. Happens in this movie.
Sam Raimi loves his screams. That makes sense now. Oh my god. Because like Ash screams so many times in this film.
Yeah.
Ah,
90% of the dialogue is
Yeah.
Bobby Joe. I think
Linda.
I think half of Jake's lines are screaming Bobby Joe.
Yep.
Bobby Joe.
I was convinced
Bobby
in the
Joe.
beginning he had black wax on
Yeah, I
his
remember you
teeth,
saying
but
that.
No, he actually was missing his 2 teeth in there. That's great casting, I suppose.
I think it's actually just commitment.
He pulled him out himself.
Knocks him out. It's like the kid from Stranger Things.
What?
Shaving her head.
No, the kid missing the teeth.
Oh, Dustin.
I watched season 1. And
I
then
figured
quit.
shaving the head was more of a commitment than just naturally losing your teeth.
I don't go back.
What do you think we are, sharks or something?
Where are we at? What are we doing?
I mean, at this point, I was just going to talk a little bit about how Ash is kind of creepy with the ladies.
That does kind of become his character.
Yeah.
Like
He's
way
kind
more.
of a sleazebag in
Yeah.
a way.
This is
like
the starting of it.
that one part where he's like, "Hey, what do you say we have some champagne?" Sure. After all, I'm a man. You're a woman. At least last time I checked.
Moving his eyebrows at me.
What does he say? We have some champagne. oh hey, what's this evil-looking book on the table that I didn't notice?
Story time.
I like how in that recap they just show up and they find a cabin and then just okay, let's stay here now.
Right.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
I guess.
They're not asking questions. They're just like, hey, this is a place. This is our place now.
I think they were just doing the bare minimum to get the
Yeah.
story started,
Yeah.
honestly. Which makes sense, because the other route they could have gone would be just doing a voiceover, which is...
If I didn't really critique it because I do kind of like the series and the movie itself, even though it's bad. But
In a good way, though.
they could have started off with the new people coming in, and then oh my god, who are you? It's like I was here, my friends are dead. This guy's fucking crazy.
Yeah, but I think they want to spend more time with just Ash by himself.
Which makes sense.
Which goes back to why couldn't we just start with him, like, immediately having the Force, like, running at him and throwing him instead of all
Yeah.
that, like, other introductory bit.
And
he's possessed for no reason.
But-
and cured.
It's also at a time in the 80s before, like, home video was a really big deal. So there is a good chance that a lot of people going in to see Evil Dead 2 in theaters had never seen Evil Dead 1.
That's what I figured. But even from a writing standpoint, there's got to be a better way to get that across.
Possibly,
Because
but...
like I even saw Evil Dead, and I was confused as shit. It's like, why is this happening? That's not what happened. I literally just watched it. You can't
was
fool
not
me.
happening.
This isn't Halloween. You can't just
retcon
say,
it.
okay, the last 20 minutes didn't count.
There's a good chance, too, though, that this movie might have just been a product of what they were allowed to do.
Yeah.
Which, if they were having issues getting the rights to the original Evil Dead, and they were even thinking about doing a sequel to this, they may have wanted to change it so that nothing that they couldn't use previously could still be used in the next one, maybe. I don't know. It sounds like they were in kind of a tricky spot and still were able to make what they did, which is pretty impressive.
Yeah. And the movie works.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
It's fun. It goes by quick too. Like, it doesn't feel super long, which is nice. A lot of the movies come out now. It's like, oh,
It felt
see you in
like
3 hours.
the beginning of that though felt like kind of like when they do a season recap at the beginning of like Game of Thrones or
Yes.
something.
Yeah.
So
Yes,
like, hey,
that's
let's
exactly
bring
what
you
I
back
thought.
up to speed. The
Previously.
first time, like, being as I haven't
Supernatural.
seen the first one, I guess maybe I would appreciate it, but I didn't know that was happening in the last one. So I was just like,
Yeah.
well, if they all got murdered in this house, why are they going back to the cabin? Why is this all happening back in the cabin? I thought she had her head lopped off, and then it was like, oh.
Can I let you know of another amazing movie franchise that is award-winning that did the same thing to me when I was younger? So in like 2002, I was going to the theater with my mom, and we gave her popcorn and my pop, and I sit down, and I'm like, why is Gandalf fighting the Balrog again? What is happening here?
Well, that's
We missed-
a little different.
We did miss like the very
Well, that-
beginning part that says Lord of the Rings, but I was having the same feeling he was having, where it's like, are we in? Is this the first movie again? Like,
That's
it
a
does show you
little-
different stuff.
I mean, that shows you, from a different angle. Where,
Perspective.
okay, by the way, we're at this point, moving on.
Right. It
doesn't
doesn't change
take-
anything.
10 minutes to be like, hey, a cabin, cool. Want to have sex? Cool. Hey, demons, cool. Hey, you're possessed, cool. Decapitation, burial, okay.
It's just confusing.
It was
that's all.
quite
Yeah.
extensive, I suppose.
I was thinking though that I do like that this movie takes place immediately following the events of the first one. I wish more sequels would do that.
There's something I want to bring up later that ties into that. But
I
yes.
won't remember, so it's all on you.
I'll remember it because it is possibly one of my favorite scenes. Possibly the favorite scene in the movie.
Oh man.
I feel like though for stuff that does that like callback, I notice at the end of a lot of like Marvel films they'll have like that little end trailer thing. I feel like they should put that maybe in the beginning of the next film for those that maybe didn't stay to see that. But you know,
That would just
lead on to
really
the
mess
next
with the
thing.
flow of the movie.
You'll
though.
find it on the internet.
Yeah, it's the easiest thing to do.
Google.
I suppose.
I always thought it'd be really cool if those little after snippets, like I know that they're teasers and it's like, hey, this is what's coming. I always thought it'd be really cool if, like, by the end of it, you could put them all together and make another small movie.
Everyone just meeting everybody.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Oh, by the way, I'm here. Oh, okay, cool.
I'm here too.
Wasn't there initially supposed to be? Oh no, that's never mind. I was about to say something about Ash in the Marvel Universe at some point. Which he is. What are we talking about? He's totally
I
there.
mean, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
we already proved that.
Yes.
Confirmed.
I suppose I was
Groovy.
expecting a lot better production necessarily just because of the TV show, but I suppose for the time of '87,
Well, the-
probably not.
It's okay. The show had stars money.
Yeah,
That's true.
That show probably had more money per episode than that entire
just the film
movie.
alone.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't
Terrible
doubt
to
that.
think. I mean, I enjoyed it. The cast was pretty good.
It is weird
Snippets I saw,
though.
I never watched all of it, but
Season 1 was good.
Yeah, I was gonna. Yeah, it kind of went a little.
2 was
wonky
like,
with
hey,
that.
I'm into it. No. And I didn't finish 3.
Took the hero's trajectory real quick. The thing though that's weird though, like so watching that show, obviously like Bruce, Ash talks a lot.
oh yeah,
In this movie, he really doesn't talk that much. There's a lot of him like walking around grunting and like
Screaming and
moments.
grunting.
This movie is like definitely silent at some parts.
He didn't have the greatest of acting chops.
Still-
In these two
not
movies.
surprised.
Yeah, still doesn't.
He didn't really learn full sentences until the 3rd.
Yeah, because he is infinitely more talkative than that one.
Yeah.
I'm
And that's where he
literally
goes
seeing-
real slapstick.
That's why it's the best one.
Looking up all these quotes, very,
Agree
very
to
short.
disagree.
He's a one-liner guy.
He is. 100%.
Going down, chainsaw.
Which is-
you
which is
bastard,
why-
you dirty bastard. Give me my hand back. Got you.
Work
in
shit.
my
Sucker.
hand. He's got so short lines. It's so bad. You did it, kid. Literally, it's just. Anyway.
Where were we again?
I don't know. You were about to tell him something about one-liners.
I was gonna say that one-liners are great, but if that's all you have,
Yeah.
which is kind of why I hate the 3rd movie.
Oh.
It's nothing but one-liners, which are great, but then it's all the slapstick. It's like it's too
Yes,
much.
it's so good
It's
though.
too much. Season
It's
1
so
nails
good.
it. Season 1 of the show nails it. It's that perfect balance.
It is, yeah, that's true. But at the same time, they went full Saints Row with it, and I was 100% there. The first one, they're like, let's try and be this other movie. That didn't go well. Let's be a little bit sillier. That worked well. Let's go on all
Just go
things.
off the fucking
Just,
rails.
just turn into the curve. Just
Yeah.
turn into the swerve.
Jump
You
the
gotta-
bridge. Jump the bridge. Jump the bridge. God. If he would have jumped the bridge, ooh.
This is where that continuity stuff comes back, because I remember the car. I think his name was Scott. The other male person took the car. Bridge was out. I thought he died there.
I can't remember the first. The first movie, honestly, I don't like.
Yeah.
Like, it was kind of funny the first time I watched it, but it's not as ridiculous as this movie. So I feel kind of like, I don't know, it doesn't quite.
It doesn't hold
I want to
up.
watch this one if I watch the first.
Yeah, it doesn't hold up as well as the 2nd one because it's a parody.
Right.
A comedy that kind of lasts longer.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're using their disabilities to their advantage, and the second one way better.
Is that essentially why they did that though? Because like it was so bad that it was good. Bad?
Possibly, I would assume
Type
it
of
gained
thing?
like a cult following, like The Room or something else.
Oh, yeah, that's true. The Room's
Which
bad.
it didn't do great. I think it made like 5 million something US. It made like
second one?
26. No, the first one.
Oh,
It made like 26 worldwide.
this one
Yeah,
grossed
that's
5
just
million.
crazy.
Grossed
Maybe
5,900,000.
shoot, maybe that's the numbers I'm thinking of. I don't know. They're the same movie.
Yeah, one's
It's
just
okay.
way better.
All right, so Ash decapitates his girlfriend, gets possessed, immediately no longer possessed because rules don't matter anymore, I guess.
Because they needed him not to be, basically.
Then why make him possessed? Either way, I love possessed Ash. It's striking and it's creepy. He already has a striking face.
Right, he's got that
And
chin.
very defined features, and then
Put
you
the chin
add
even
that
bigger on
onto
there.
it.
Did
They
it
kinda
remind you of the
reminded me-
mask?
No.
When the evil club guy gets the mask?
Oh, no.
That's all I could think.
I'm here for a little payback.
Thinking of like
I'm here for a little back pay.
the vampires.
Spelled payback. I fucked it up. I'm sorry. I had it and I lost
And
it.
Buffy. I think that's what I was getting a real feel for. 'cause
Yeah.
they have
Oh
that-
Yeah,
Okay,
that makes
the-
sense.
Yeah.
The deep sunken eyes.
I can see that.
What was his name? Spike.
Angel.
And
I
didn't
think
Angel go on to make his own show?
we've said every name I know. There's the green guy, the British dude,
You mean, fuck, what's his name? Nigel? Niles?
Chauncey. I'm just saying British names now. I don't know.
Eggsy! But yeah, he decapitates his girlfriend, and then there's a weird time sequence. He gets in the car, and he leaves. And, oh no, the bridge is out. And then immediately it's dark again.
Yeah,
Even though it was just dawn.
Yep.
Speaking of darkness, the clock on like several different like shots. One time I saw it said it was 9 o'clock. The other time it said it was 12 o'clock. The other time it said it was 6 o'clock. And then in there was an 11:30 somewhere. So
It's very clear what's happening here.
They still
The darkness
had
is messing with
mastered.
their mind. Yes.
I thought they were messing
Still
with
had
the
to
clock.
master the whole.
This is one thing the movie does really good. It really makes you feel like you're with a madman. Like you think this guy's going insane the whole time with the like those angles and the sound he's making, and when he starts getting covered in blood and goop and his face is just like
Can we talk
everywhere.
about when the house starts laughing at him?
You mean my favorite scene?
And also mine.
And he's like, "Oh, I conquered it. Let me sit down in my chair. Chair breaks." And then like the fucking the animal head. And just
the
was-
deer.
Yeah.
I'm just like, "Oh no!" And then the lamp starts, and I'm like, "What's happening?" And then everything else starts laughing. And I'm like,
And then
"This
he
is
starts laughing.
ridiculous."
This is why I love that scene. One, I've been at that point before, where I'm so either drunk or insane, I just start laughing for no reason. Two, it goes back to the fact that it happens at the next day, right? So if you watch the first movie, they show up, possessions, he has to kill his loved ones or watch them die, and then come back, kill them again.
Oh, so the sequence of events the very next day.
Right,
is
so the
he
very
starts
next
killing.
day, no breaks, it's back.
Yep.
He's
Had he cut his hand off at that point?
Nah. Maybe
Yeah,
he
he
has.
did.
Yeah.
Because
he
right
has.
after the laughing scene, they show up.
Yep.
Oh
He's
yeah,
already
because then he
chopped
falls
off.
down on the chair, and I watched his.
Because he was
his
hunting.
blade
He had
on
the
his
gun because he
thing.
was hunting the
Rubber
thing.
ball.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's just that unrelenting. He is broken down as a human being, and he's just laughing.
Yep.
And then at the very end of that scene, or the laughing portion, he almost starts crying. He goes from that joy to I am in intense pain. There's that nice shift.
Which is one of those things where, writing-wise, I think it's understandable why they made that remake and then tried to do the more serious end of it. Because if you played this less hokey, some of the things in this movie would be like really terrifying, and like him losing his mind like that would probably be super terrifying. It is like unsettling, the deer head a little bit, like when it first starts laughing. It's like an uncomfortable laughter sometimes.
Just the cracks it makes too.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm a Kandarian demon moose.
Got
That's
it.
a musical reference.
Right over our head, but it's still funny.
I tried showing it to you, and it
Well,
just didn't work.
Thanks, Honda.
Thanks, Honda. Fucking Honda.
Bluetooth.
This movie does go 0 to 100 real quick, though. Like,
Yes.
a lot of their scenes, like it'll be dead quiet, and then especially like some of the jump scares, like things will just
There's
pop
a
up
lot
like
of those in
mid sentence.
this.
Yeah.
And for no reason, like, oh, it's quiet. Hey, I'm here too.
But there are times like where like one of the Deadites or something will just pop up out of nowhere, and it's like, wow, didn't see that coming. They didn't like do the stock build up to it where I think something's out there. Let's go see.
There's
Nothing's here. Boom. It was just, hey, that was super weird. I guess we're boom.
there is no pacing in this movie whatsoever.
I really like that though.
And it somehow works.
Yeah.
I don't know how.
Like I said, I think like all the weirdness of this movie just really helps the feeling like you are also losing your mind with this person, because you're like, none of this makes sense. This is all really bad. Why do I like it so much?
That's the thing. That's why I stopped trying to critique it and just enjoyed it. Like as a movie, it fails.
Yeah,
On
100%.
every level, sound, writing, acting, directing,
Just all
everything
production
fails. Somehow though, it works.
So the writing was good. The production was shit.
Writing was okay.
It's a good idea.
It's a
for
good
execution.
premise. It's a good premise.
I think I love the idea more than I actually like the movie.
Yeah.
The first movie I think is okay as a concept. The only way the second movie works is by being a parody. Right? It's the only way it works.
Yeah, if they tried to do the same exact thing, everything, but played it straight again, I don't think anyone would be talking about it.
like
I just wanna
Ghostbusters.
What is it about? What is it about Ash's character that he has the ability to overcome the Deadite inside of him? Like, because he gets hit with the whole evil thing, and then suddenly he just has the ability to kind of make it shut out, whereas everyone else just goes full Deadite and is like.
This comes
fuck.
back to, have you guys ever heard Brandon Sanderson's Rules of Magic?
No.
No.
He's a fantasy writer. He basically compiled all the rules to make a magic system. You have to have limitations, define structure, whatnot.
Makes sense.
There is no structure to the possessions. people just become possessed for no reason. And this follows into the show.
That does make sense because that one guy becomes possessed and he didn't even get injured. He just got thrown against a wall.
Like you would think it'd be the chick because the eyeball went in her mouth.
Right?
Yeah.
And then for no reason, it's the guy. For no reason.
That seems like something that they addressed better in the remake, honestly.
Yeah.
Because you can follow where it's going based on who it attacks and who touched it last, which is one of the things that I don't know if I like better or worse, because there's something I think that works better about the chaos of not knowing where it's going to be, but I do also appreciate that in the story you can follow and connect the dots. So it's one of those, do you like the chaos or do you like the reason things?
It's weird in Evil Dead 2. It shows like, well, it's by biting. His hand gets possessed.
Yep.
It's by... I am so gassy.
Can it be transferred by gas?
Maybe. It's by...
I wouldn't put it past this movie.
It's by blood getting on you. It's by actually dying and being possessed. Or it's just, fuck it, we're going to possess you because we can.
Because the story needs us to.
I like to think that the Deadites are just fucking with them the entire night.
Possibly.
Like, not just like, oh, we can't get inside the cabin. It's like, oh, we can't get in. Fucking idiots, we can totally get in.
Like the hand was fucking with him in the little trap there.
Yeah.
Basically flips him off. Doesn't it flip him off?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
So I feel like that's where the comedy's coming from most. So like the characters are trying to take it seriously, but the Deadites like, fuck it, ha ha ha, mischievous demons.
Fun fact about the hand, that was inspired by
Adam
Hamburger
Sandler?
Helper.
Oh, dang.
Hamburger
I was thinking Adam
Helper?
Sandler the whole time.
Hamburger? The mascot for Hamburger Helper is a
That's
myth.
way better.
Okay, it works.
like to see him
I do really like the scene though after he knocks himself out fighting him in the kitchen and he's just like dragging him across. It's like, that was done actually really well. Like it looks like his hand is put
Okay, this is embarrassing. I've actually tried to recreate that. It's way harder than it looks.
trying to get your finger strength.
No, trying to like,
gotta have someone
how would it
pushing,
look
yeah.
if I do it? Like, no, that doesn't work.
moving your arm, yeah.
It doesn't work.
You have to have someone shove your
I'm pretty
legs.
sure yeah, someone was just pushing him.
Yeah. I couldn't
Or they
do it. I
reversed
couldn't be
it.
it.
Yeah.
I don't think they reversed it.
Nah, because if they reversed, yeah, it would look weird. They did do a lot of reverse shots in this though.
Yeah, a lot
love
of smoke
that.
reversing.
Yeah.
Smoke and blood reversing. I loved those shots.
I don't know. I like it though. It's kind of like this charming, like in the 80s. How can we do this? What if we just shoot it backwards?
Practical.
Yeah,
Shoot it
do
backwards and speed it up.
I think, is there only one CG shot in this movie? Spoilers, Ghost shows up for no reason.
That's right. Yeah.
I don't remember
The
that.
lady's father shows up on the wall. I don't know if that was projecting or was that.
I think that was honestly projecting it on the glass. Like
Was
the
it?
It was
the
a
old way that they
rotoscope
used to do
thing?
like.
That probably was
I think that's what it was honestly, because
So
it
then
didn't seem CGI because it was too like clean for the time.
So then the very ending then, the portal opening up.
That one definitely would have.
There's a
been
portal opening up
Yeah.
at the end.
That one would have to have been CGI, I think.
Should we get back to the story?
I don't know if it's CGI.
Oh, we don't follow the
because
story
I
in
feel-
order.
Oh, we don't? You know?
I
Fuck
feel
no.
like
I stopped watching, so I don't know.
they're. I don't know if it was CGI. I feel like it was camera effects because I noticed in one of the scenes, like as it's doing it, the background of it looked completely.
Yeah, they were playing with the lens and things like that. But when he's going down the hole, like he's like spinning.
Were green
They
screening
could,
him in there?
they could have rotoscoped it maybe, but it probably would have been early CGI.
But
It would
still,
have taken a lot to do that.
I do love the practical effects.
They're still good too.
Also, like the claymation.
Oh my
love
god!
that stuff.
Yes. That's
It's so out of place. I would love to see a
was like,
modern day movie
When did they
with
introduce Tim Burton
claymation.
into all this
Yeah.
day?
The dance.
It was brilliant, but took me out of it a little bit.
Well, if we don't, I had so many things I was just going to sprinkle through the story.
So I think Barbara Joe's there.
Bobby Joe.
Joe Bob. My mama told
So
me.
so they show up and are they just leading them to a path around to get across that bridge that gets destroyed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
where they show up?
I don't know why they made it seem so sinister. Like when they offered another way around.
Oh yeah.
Like they made Bobby Joe and
She just
the
looked
dude
at her and
like.
just looking at her all menacing and spits.
Yeah, they were like, yeah, we'll show you a way around. But then nothing ever came of that.
Yeah.
They just get to the house and they're like, this is weird. We're friends now.
We need to die in like 10 minutes, so we gotta hurry this along.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm looking up a little
Yeah.
really quick, just
Trying to
because
figure out
I'm-
where you are.
I'm looking up photos, and all I keep seeing is just the skull head, obviously. And I was trying to think, why does that doesn't really tie in necessarily to the whole thing? Like their choice for an album cover, he's like a skeleton face, and there's no skeletons in this film.
Yeah, I don't understand why
Not
it
a
wouldn't be
single
like
skeleton in
Bruce
this film.
Campbell.
Like I would understand for the third one because there's
Chainsaw.
skeletons.
Could be one of those things where like that is a more striking image if you're walking through a rental store.
I wouldn't have thought this movie had anything to do with whatever that's showing. That's why I've never seen it. It's like that looks like it's a dumb movie. It still kind of was.
Yeah, I was just you're not wrong.
It makes
The
it
reason
spookier.
this movie got made is because Stephen King loved it. Or he loved the original so much that he pulled some strings to get
Funding and investors.
to get
That's weird.
to get the guy that eventually produced it.
He must only like
Was he
movies
happy
when they're
with
not
the-
his books.
Was he happy with the outcome?
He loved the
Let's make a second
original.
one. Ugh.
He called the original like the most interesting and innovative horror movie of the generation or something like that. They used it on the box cover. But yeah, he's the reason why it ultimately got produced. Stephen King.
Let's go.
Probably on the
In the
first
first one.
Yeah.
I have no idea what you think about
You
that.
should have listened to the audio commentary. They have the Gore the Merrier featurette. I don't even know what that is.
As much as I love Bruce Campbell, I don't know if I want to hear him talk for an hour and a half straight, like not doing dialogue.
True.
He seems like one of those guys that's been doing cons for so long that he just rambles on like the same 3 stories or something.
And then there was this one time.
Or maybe he's super cool. Who knows?
Um,
It's hard to read that guy sometimes.
Yeah, you can never beat that guy.
I just want
The movie failed to get an R rating.
faces.
For,
How?
NC-17.
Right, I mean they were shooting for an R rating.
Okay.
Because NC-17 is like no one wants to touch you.
Yeah,
If you
is
get
that
that,
like
no
the-
theater's
the
gonna
death
play
mark.
that.
Is
Yeah.
it like the AO
Yes.
version now?
Correct.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Adult.
But it failed to, so the distributing company Rosebud is a fake one. The producer just made it just to distribute this movie because no one else would.
Yeah.
It's like such a sham.
Part of the reason is because of my other favorite scene. Can you guess what it is?
Trying to think of things that would have been an issue at the time. Violence would have been totally okay.
This is a tree.
It's the tree.
I was gonna
It's
say.
the tree. Here's what I
Weird
love.
tentacle version.
Sam
Am I the only
Raimi-
one that's super uncomfortable that's another one of your favorite scenes? Tree rape.
Sometimes you gotta stick it in there. Oh god. Sam Raimi has gone on record as saying he regrets putting that in the first movie,
Oh.
but he put it in the
They
second
put it
movie.
in
Yeah.
again.
And they put it in the remake too.
Yeah.
Put it in
Yeah.
again. And then again.
I mean, I guess it was gonna be way more gory too.
Oh.
She was gonna be physically split in half when it inserted.
That would have upped the budget even further.
But that was too far though. That was too far.
When I went to go see the remake in theaters, and it was like a Thursday or something, so no one was there. It was like maybe 10 people total in that theater, which is the best way to watch a movie.
True.
But this young couple, I guess I was young at the time too, but this slightly younger couple, maybe I was like 22 and they're like probably 20, children. Yeah, they sit in front of us, like maybe 2 rows up, and then he like wraps the arm around, leans her in. I'm like, I can't remember who I was there with, but I was just like, I don't think they know what happens in this movie. This is not going to be a mood setter.
Oh, sweet summer child.
Yeah. And then, half hour later, tree rape happens, and I just see like the separation.
Well, that's not happening tonight. Abort.
I like to think that she was the fan and brought him there for that, and he's the one on the ride home that's just like,
Well,
What a boner killer.
that was
So-
an interesting film.
yeah.
So, do you want to stop by a forest later?
Okay.
Trying to tell me
He's
something?
living out his fantasies. No. Overall my thoughts of this film, like just kind of jumping onto that one, I'm mixed, honestly. I don't know if I really loved it or if I really hated it. I feel like maybe a second viewing to just watch it for what it is wouldn't be a bad idea.
I feel like
Because I was looking at it with an analytical eye, and I was
Yeah.
just like, I didn't really give it a chance.
you really have to turn your brain off.
Yeah.
If you're part of the cult, you'd love it.
It would also help seeing like everything else, because once it's one of those things where it's definitely got a style. So once you've watched enough other things in that universe, it's like, okay, you just stop seeing the weirdness.
I feel that my view of this movie is tainted by the future knowledge of Army of Darkness, Ash versus the Evil Dead, the musical, Freddy versus Jason versus Ash.
Oh, I wanted to see that so bad.
I wish.
There's still time. Except
Which,
for said he's retired.
They all exist in the same universe. So that was confirmed by Jason Goes to Hell.
Which, you know, would be really cool. Is that means Spider-Man can fight Jason.
That's who he calls. He calls him for backup because he knew Uncle Ben. He's like, hey, kid, I got your number. I need some help down here.
Oh, make
I'll
it
be
happen,
right there,
Sam
Mr.
Raimi.
Ash, sir.
Oh no.
I don't feel so good, Mr. Stark.
This is so good. I'm ready. I'm ready for that. Pay me.
Do it. Do it. Write it.
Yeah. Do it.
Do it.
See, I've honestly hit all my notes. I didn't have a whole lot of notes for this.
Freddy Krueger's glove is in this movie.
Where?
What? Twice.
Twin.
Twin.
Like
Twin.
with the blades or just like a leather
Yep,
glove?
with the actual replica prop.
Where?
That's two blades that they're joined in, isn't
To be
it?
fair, I didn't notice it until I read about it.
Okay.
But now that I see it, I can never unsee it.
In the workshop?
Yeah, in the workshop, when he's sawing her head in half, it's like dead center above the door.
Oh jeez. How
And
did I miss
then-
that?
Because we were looking at the
Exactly.
door.
And then right after he gets the chainsaw hand, he's going down to the basement. It's the whole like shot of his hand. Like, oh, what a badass shot. It's just to the left of the door. Like right in shot. How did I miss that?
I really wish you would have put it in every single scene now.
Just for
If you
no
could pull
reason
that
it's
off,
there.
yeah.
Just like
That the hand gets it and it's
420 on all the
clean.
clocks. Kill Bill writer, Quentin Tarantino.
Oh, okay.
In Pulp
Gotcha.
Fiction,
I was
all
so
the
lost.
clocks.
I was nowhere near
you
your
were.
zip code. Do you have any other more tidbits?
Do you know why Ash cuts off his right hand?
Because he's left-handed.
Because Bruce Campbell's left-handed.
No.
He wanted to use
Made sense, yeah.
this thing. I hated that when I was Ash for Halloween. I
Ooh,
wanted screen accuracy, but I'm right-handed. So I'm in the goddamn thing, like trying to fiddle with my left hand. Like,
It's the worst.
The worst part is there's such an easy way around that. All you had to do was be Mirror Ash.
They so I
You're
read,
good, Ash. I'm bad, Ash. Goody goody two shoes.
there's apparently a part that says Ash's chainsaw appears to switch hands in one scene. This is because Sam Raimi decided Ash should walk the opposite way across the room in that scene, so he just flipped the negative.
Nice. Nice.
The
Saved himself a
downfall-
lot of money on that.
The downfall of filmmaking. We'll just flip the image. No one's gonna notice.
Sam Raimi. Brilliant, but lazy.
Cutting corners. Like always.
The rat in this movie, when he first gets thrown down into the cellar, there's a rat hanging out with him. The rat was named Senor Cojones. Cojones.
Balls.
I can't read Spanish.
It's cojones, yeah.
I mean, I guess is that cojones?
I think so, yeah.
Cojon with a squiggly.
Is that a tilde?
Es. Senor Cojones. I failed
The rat
Spanish.
has a name.
Me
Well, I
too.
probably should have noticed that when the credits started popping up, but I'm assuming, is it credited? Is the rat credited?
I have no idea. I just read it on Google and I didn't fact check that.
Fair.
Fact checking's for losers.
Get on that.
We just like to sling it out to the
Get on
ether.
that. Get on that. Do you know the rumor that the fourth shot in the end of the movie, I guess the beginning of this one, where it's going through the house and then it runs into him?
All the doors and stuff, yeah.
Yeah. There was a rumor started, or I guess the urban legend myth.
There you go.
Yeah, I words.
The urban left.
God damn it.
Big fans of Obama.
Contrary to the right.
They hate everybody. That ain't them. They assholes.
That broke me. The urban myth was that Sam Raimi had like a dirt bike that he was riding around. That's how he got the shot, and that he actually ran into Bruce Campbell and broke his jaw or his arm or ankle or something. Something broke. I just read that they actually started that rumor to see who would believe it. Bruce Campbell and Sam Raimi were the starters of that rumor. It didn't happen.
Did you believe it?
I have no idea.
Oh, you found out about that
I
first?
thought he broke his arm or his ankle or something. Something broke when he ran into him. Like, that makes sense. I'll believe
Oh,
that.
so you did believe it. Okay,
Yeah.
so they got you. Didn't get us because you told us.
Yeah.
Nice.
This isn't from this movie, but the original Cabin. First off, the original Cabin was in Morristown, Tennessee. Evil Dead 2 takes place in Wadesboro, North Carolina.
In canon?
No,
Or in
the actual film location.
Okay.
Oh,
Because squatters moved into the cabin of the original movie
Oh, shit.
and eventually burned it down.
Oh, no.
Great.
But there was apparently an actual horror story that happened in that cabin.
Really?
There was a family of 3 women, little girl, mother, grandmother. One night during a storm, little girl goes to her mommy, and she's dead. Just dead for some reason.
Oh.
So runs to her grandmother, also dead, for some reason. So then she runs to the neighbor's farm, like, oh God, help me. And so she lives with them. Supposedly during the filming, the girl would wander the woods during a storm. She was just fucked up. Now an adult. You know.
Spooky.
And the farmer comes by looking for her because, like, yeah, we don't know where she is. She's just wandering the woods at night, so look out. Oh, fuck.
Yikes.
Don't be scared, but maybe be.
She's a little crazy. Yeah, no, this one, I had the fact on there says that it was shot on a set built inside of a gymnasium at a junior high school.
Some shots, yes.
Yeah.
The interiors, probably. Yeah.
We're on scene and whatnot. Ted Raimi's in the movie. We covered that.
Yep.
Did you know that Sam Raimi is in the movie?
No.
Yes. He's the knight at the end of the movie.
Oh,
That raises his visor and he's like, "Hail the hero!"
Nah, that makes sense.
I think that's all I have, actually.
Cool.
Maybe, possibly, yes.
I feel like it's pretty obvious at this point, the standpoint of the table, how everybody feels about that movie. But there are some, things that have to be done just for prosperity's sake. First one's what the fuck moment. So I'm most interested in hearing what Tom's is, seeing as he'd never seen it.
Mine honestly was that dancing, the stop motion animation scene where Linda, was it?
Yep.
Dancing in the woods and her head spinning around, or her body spinning, her head still in
She's
place.
like rolling it down the arm and rolling back up. Yep.
It's like, this feels so out of place, and then it's just, okay, sure.
It's also my what the fuck moment, just because it's the only thing in this movie that is genuinely creepy to me. Like her fake face is so off. Like it's
That
just
uncanny
weird.
valley.
Yeah.
I love it.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic.
Mine would be the first 10 minutes of the movie. Because what the fuck? This is not what happened. And I'm
Is
a
that
fanboy.
is that more of a why the fuck? Why the fuck you changed that?
I was just confused. Like, did I pick the wrong movie? What happened here? Why is this like this?
I swear I picked this one up. What's going on?
Yeah, I already watched this. Why am I rewatching it? What?
Fair enough.
So after what the fuck, we followed up with favorite scene.
I don't want to say rape tree.
Oh,
I'm not gonna say rape tree. No,
Oh.
no. It's dark. It's a laughing scene.
100%.
Absolutely laughing
Yep.
scene. Just that ending of manic laughter to tears. Maybe because I used to be a thespian in college, and I had a scene like that where I laughed maniacally and then into tears. So maybe that's why it's a connection. I don't know.
It also has the most iconic shot of the series in it when he like turns over and is laughing upwards
Oh, yeah,
to the
the
and he's got the
camera.
blood down on. It's always either that or him in the third one holding up the boomstick. That's like the shot you see.
I want to go with my favorite scene. I just had it. Holy cow, and it's gone. Oh yeah, when he's fighting himself with his own hand, just throwing himself in the whole kitchen, just choking himself out. And yeah, no, the possession of the hand. I enjoyed that one.
To be honest, I'm surprised by that pick. I thought it was going to be his montage when he's getting his gear ready.
Groovy.
No, because I nitpicked it away with that chainsaw cuts so easily, just like
Yeah,
and
through
through
the shotgun.
and then he goes down to the floorboard.
Takes him like 10 minutes. I do also appreciate when he goes out to the shed. There's the chalk outline of where the chainsaw should be.
Right.
Was that a callback to the first movie?
I have no idea.
Because he rips the curtain open and there's the chainsaw. Second movie, rips the curtain open. Oh yeah, it's not there.
Must be.
Possibly.
I mean,
I
it
think
sounds
I'll
like it
do
should
the
be.
house.
Too layered for me.
Yeah.
That's deep.
Do we even have to discuss who the MVP is though? Like,
Yeah, I think we do.
yeah. Oh, okay, go.
Mine's cameraman. A lot of those shots, like a lot of the shots that were done were actually very well done. Like there's the chase scene, there's the crashing the camera through the entire house while the doors are busting down. There's the scene where the camera goes through the back of his car and out his windshield. Like there's a lot of technical shots that are done very well. So hats off to the camera guy.
Give him one of those. Give him one of those. Who you got?
I want to say mine for last.
Okay. Well, I have Sam Raimi.
Okay.
Like, I don't know if this movie works if it's not him directing it. And I think a lot of like the weird, quirky things in it that make it so much fun are just him. So every other movie I've seen by him, which I guess is just Spider-Man. Now that I think about it, there's a lot of like, so you can see the style that is overlapping those, but especially in the third Spider-Man movie, which is part of why I love it. It's one of those things where he knows like this isn't the movie that I really want to make, so I'm just gonna fuck it. Let's
Fuck it.
let's have Peter Parker dancing. Why not? That just reminds me of at the beginning when Bruce Campbell was like doing his super cheesy stuff. I'm like, that's that same director right there.
I just don't understand why in that third Spider-Man, like he made Peter Parker look the way he did in his eyes of what the epitome of sexiness is. 'Cause
The what?
The epitome.
The huh?
The epitome.
Thank you.
I don't know why I still trip up on that. The epitome.
Even close.
That's how it's
That is
spelled.
how it's spelled.
Phonetically, it looks fucked.
but that's nowhere near.
What's that stand up? The epitome of hyperbole?
Anyway, folks, I'm an idiot. Anyway, no, but yeah, no. Sam, like he makes Peter Parker look like that, and that's what apparently he thinks all ladies want.
Well, because Sam Raimi is the perfect mixture of amazing and awful at the same time.
Yes. There is. I read something on that. It's not Sam Raimi doing it. It's the symbiote reading Parker's mind, and because he's a nerd, that's
Someone
what
tried
he
to
thinks sexy
exactly.
is.
Yep.
I get that. I still fucking hate it.
That's exactly how I watch it. I'm like, people are always like, he's trying to be cool. I'm like, well, he's fucking a science nerd. That's what he thinks cool is.
I just saw my
Now dig on
child
this.
die. I think I started crying in that scene, not from joy.
Oh,
So again, that's the only thing I know Sam Raimi for, and I fucking hate him. Spider-Man 3 made me hate the other two. That's how bad it was, and I
2 is still so
questioned
good.
the Evil Dead stuff. Anyway,
Also, Sam Raimi brought us the peak of acting with Macho Man. Get down from there! What are you doing up there? I got you for 3 minutes.
and it's playtime.
He deserves an Oscar.
Okay,
for
I'm
that.
back on board.
100%.
I love Spider-Man 1. Anyway, do we want to ruin all this goodness? Do you want to guess who my MVP is?
Well, I feel like the obvious choice is Bruce Campbell, so it's not him. We've already touched on the tree rape, so I really hope it's not that.
It's the rape tree.
Oh,
I love ugly, and that scene is so ugly.
It is.
I love it.
It tips to the cameraman again on that one. He does like the whole tracking shot of what. I'm going to assume it was a reverse shot.
Yeah.
Because he can't really do a crawling tree up the skin. So I'm guessing they had it all wrapped up around her, and then they just do the follow
Most
shot
likely.
in reverse. And it's just like, oh, that's impressive. So, but yeah, no.
It's dark.
It is ugly. It's dark.
twisted, and I love it. I love it. I love ugly.
Because didn't they do that?
Still uncomfortable.
That shit in the first one.
Yeah, that's why it's so weird.
That's why.
they go
Oh,
pretty far in
that's-
the remake too. It's like slimy and stuff. And
I
I'm just
think
like,
I remember. Yeah.
That shot gave them so much trouble with home video.
oh yeah,
With
oh
the
yeah.
ratings. Hey, let's put it in the second one too.
They gave
Why
I
not?
read a little bit on there. They were trying to struggle with trying to get an R rating, but they gave them they changed the color of the blood to try and
That was another
jump
thing.
it down.
They made
but
some of it green,
it
some
still
of it
got
black.
rated an X
Yeah.
anyway.
Rape tree.
Nope.
Lance approved.
Just put a stamp on that one. I'd put my word on it.
I'd buy that for $1.
Oh my god.
So do
Have you guys done RoboCop?
No.
No,
Have you not done RoboCop?
it's not on the radar.
You should try to do something that's related to it.
Some way or another. Well, it used to be puns.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
on
is
the
that
month.
it?
We ran out pretty quick.
Like we had a monthly theme.
Maybe you should do new release November.
I can't even remember what last year's November was.
Not safe for work November.
No. Wait, I wanted it to be Movember, and we just do like Western movies with giant mustaches. Fantastic.
Nudity November.
See,
November.
Oh boy.
At the time, I think we were still using the footage, so that would have been a pain.
Yeah.
Censor bar.
We had to do that for The Shining. Because my favorite scene in The Shining, or no, my what the fuck moment in The Shining is when he sees the girl in the bathtub.
And then right to the
So I had
That
to
movie
censor
for a
that scene.
fucking loop.
Yeah, that was interesting. I was doing a lot of tracking for that.
I think I was like 13 when I saw that. I was at a friend's house, and for some reason I was watching that movie with his dad, and he was somewhere else. I'm just like, watching. Oh God, no.
Yep.
No.
And is that then when the dad comes in the room? Like, I swear.
No, the dad was sitting there watching with me.
That's what I was imagining the whole time I was doing the edit when I was like censoring it, because I think I put our faces over them. so like I was like real close to it, like trying to make sure I was covering everything. I was like, man, I hope someone doesn't come in the room. I'm just like intimately close with this old lady's titties.
You gotta own it. You just gotta own it right there.
I told you not to disturb me when I'm cleaning my room.
Get the lotion. Put it in the basket. Yeah.
I honestly don't know how we can go any higher than that moment. That might have been the pinnacle of our podcast. So I think we should probably end. Yeah, we should probably end it now. That was the Halloween special with our first ever special guest. Yeah. I don't know what's coming up.
I don't either. I haven't really went that far. I
Yeah.
didn't know if we wanted to do another one for the first, release this on the 31st and have another one first. That's a lot of work.
We'll find out,
Put
yeah.
on, yeah.
We may and or may not, so we might not see him till the 1st or the 15th, which realistically will probably be people watching if your math is correct, like on a Tuesday next May. You know, people will finally find the podcast.
Eventually. We'll get there.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
You're building a legacy.
We're building a library is what it is.
They'll be able to say, "Man, I love these fucking guys." I'm gonna watch their old stuff. No.
Yeah, they talk about true rape.
They need to breathe. Start in at like episode 50. Just give them some time. Just push through it. Push through.
We're getting there.
Way there.
We got the lights, the microphone set up, the camera set up.
I don't think we can do much of anything else.
Oh, we just got to get the personality now.
We don't
Practice. We don't practice.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I don't have any announcements. I assume you probably don't either.
No, nothing. You got any
Anything you
announcements?
wanna-
Anything that they need to know about the channel coming up?
I really want to see Overlord.
Oh,
That looks really good. I'm getting into occultism. Nazi
World War II one
occultism.
that's kind of like, it feels like Nazi zombies.
Kind of. A little bit. It's more
People are trying to
demonic.
make their own movie.
Did you watch Devil's Rock?
Yeah, we
Like
did.
I said.
Yeah, we did.
What'd you think? Real quick, what'd you think of
That
it?
was the one where the guy kept playing the music because he kept the noise out of his head.
What?
We're talking about different movie
Maybe.
then?
Devil's Rock that I said. No, my Devil's Rock. Nazis were on an island trying to summon a demon that they did, but she killed everyone.
Oh, man.
It has like 2 guys in it for most of the movie. There's 5 people in the whole movie, and half of them are
It's like Blood
dead.
Rain. Blood Rain. All those fucking zombie Nazis, vampires, and random sex scenes. That was a terrible fucking movie.
You mean Dead Snow?
That would have been a much better version of it.
Yeah.
I've heard that one.
I still don't forgive you. It's whatever.
Hey, we're supposed to watch terrible video game movies. Yours was better, yeah, by far. But
I don't think Terrible was part of the quota. And DOA is amazing.
I'm just gonna tell you, we're
got Kevin
watching
Nash
Neil
in it.
Breen movie at some
Yeah.
No.
Kevin Nash.
No.
Thumbs up in the wire.
All right, baby girl, we gotta fight now. That's okay if you're into that. I still love you.
Your girlfriend's cute. Anyways, I've been a Notorious G.
I'm Dead Sprocket.
I'm the Legend of Lance. Rape Tree approved.
See you again next
I'm walking away from the table.
Goodbye.
Table.